You're watching CNC3.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. I am Kijan Haynes. There is still no confirmation from the Ministry of Homeland Security or the Prison Service on the fate of Acting Prison Commissioner Carlos Carraspe. Reports circulating say Carraspe was sent on administrative leave effective yesterday. He hasn't answered any of our calls so far. Now, Line Minister Roger Alexander also did not respond to calls or messages. General Secretary of the Prison Officers Association, Lester Logie, says the association heard the media reports as well, adding that the association was informed that Carraspe was not given any letter confirming that he was to be sent on leave. Logie says Carraspe has about 3 years left of service before he hits retirement age. Now, these reports come after Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara advised government to call a state of emergency, stating that there is a criminal syndicate headed by prisoners, assisted by prison officers, plotting to assassinate judicial officers, police, and other state officials. The Ministry of Health has launched a full investigation into the death of 6-year-old Joshua Francois. The child died hours after being admitted to the San Fernando Teaching Hospital for what his parents described as a persistent cough. The probe was ordered by Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar and initiated by Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo following public outcry and a widely shared video posted by the grieving parents. Joshua was referred from the Roy Joseph Health Center and taken to the hospital on Wednesday. Doctors decided to monitor him overnight and administered oxygen and nebulizer treatment. His parents say there were no signs of serious illness and they expected him to be discharged. However, after being treated for a suspected lung infection with magnesium sulfate, Joshua became unresponsive and died shortly after. His parents has since requested an independent autopsy and filed a Freedom of Information request for his records. The Southwest Regional Health Authority says a formal case review is underway and support services remain available. The Public Services Association has threatened to take WASA to the industrial court over what it describes as a clear breach of the registered collective agreement. Now, in a letter dated August 6th, PSA President Felicia Thomas strongly objected to a new directive requiring all promotions and acting appointments to be approved by the CEO's office before going to Human Resources. She warned the move is not only procedurally improper, but directly violates the agreed process, which gives the authority to divisional heads and the HR manager. She called the directive unilateral, improper, and actionable, and accused WASA of showing disregard for good industrial relations practices. Now, when contacted, Thomas said WASA's CEO has since admitted to her it was an oversight and promised to rescind the instruction. Meanwhile, when we contacted Joseph, he said WASA has requested a meeting with the PSA president to discuss the issue. A Lamentil family of 10 narrowly escaped injury when a tree fell on their home around 4 a.m. Thursday. Relatives tell CNC3 News that this could have possibly been avoided if complaints to the Water and Sewage Authority were treated with. Jensen Levent has more in this story.
Susan Huggins is placing her trust in God after this decades-old chestnut tree crashed into the kitchen of a family's home Thursday morning. And this is not the family's only tragedy. In February last year, Huggins' 11-year-old grandson Ezekiel was shot dead while riding his bike at Map Trace Laventel Road. At the time of the shooting, the perpetrator was aiming at a passenger in a nearby vehicle who escaped with minor injuries. Huggins says it's only through God's strength she's able to cope.
Prayers is the key to everything right now. That is what has given us the strength to hold on, regardless of what taking place. You have to put everything in the presence of the Lord. Right? You cast all your cares upon him. Right? He's the only one that gives us the strength out here.
While the case remains unsolved, Huggins' 5 children and 5 grandchildren have nowhere else to call home, so they remain in a damaged structure.
As I'm going to say again, I say my God is in charge. He's in charge. Regardless of what, how it might look, God is in charge.
The source of the problem, she says, is an unchecked WASA leak above her home that for years her family and neighbors complained about but got no redress. With previous judgments against the state company, she hopes that the authority takes accountability, resolving the matter amicably.
Well, it might sound kind of, in a way to me, that, you just have to leave things in the hands of the Lord. He has the power to do everything.
CNC3 News spoke with Ellen Lewis, Director of Customer Care at WASA, who expressed regret over the incident and said the complaints would be looked into. Jensen Lavend, CNC3 News.
And as the hurricane season progresses, residents of Palm East, Debe and Barrackpore are preparing themselves for any eventualities. As part of their preparation, they took part in a hurricane and flood disaster simulation conducted by the Certified Emergency Response Team, led by trainers from the Penal Debe Regional Corporation and the Sustainable Climate Resilience Initiative. Over 70 volunteers participated in the simulation held at Francis C. Paul Recreation Ground in Debe. The scenarios included the impact of a Category 4 hurricane, floods, fires, fallen trees, and medical emergencies were also incorporated. CERT instructor with the Ministry of Rural Development, Dennis Gopi, highlighted the need for basic emergency skills.
We would like everybody in Trinidad and Tobago to be trained, to have that basic knowledge, to become resilient, that they would be able to take care and keep their loved ones alive until first responders come. The response has been fantastic. Since we have started this program, we are getting more and more, even at this program here, we are getting requests from Laramane groups, from churches, from different people who are now realizing and understanding the importance of this.
And the president of the Sustainable Climate Resilience Initiative, Edward Moody, says the worst of the hurricane season is still ahead. It was important for all trainees to work as a team.
Because you cannot go out as a single CERT responder. You have to operate with a body or an entire team. And if you go out there on your own, you are endangering yourself, and you too can become a victim and make the situation even worse. Our group have been monitoring, PDRC have been monitoring the weather. We know it is not nice, but it will depend on how the rain falls over the period of time. Based on the fact our community is mainly affected by flooding that is tidal influence.
And CERT training is expected to take place in all HDC developments as well, in particular the flood-prone areas. Calypsonian Daniel Brown, also known as Trinidad Rio, slammed what he considered the disrespect to late legendary Calypsonian Donrick Funny Williamson. Speaking at the funeral of Funny, Rio took a somber tune of the funeral as he said he could not hold back what he observed at the grandstand at Queen's Park, Savannah this morning.
I cannot disappointed. I was here in at Shadow and Experience funeral. And I was expecting the same kind of impact, turnout. All there was coming people. When I come here this morning, I thought it was a police funeral, when I see that thing on public. From the time I come down here this morning, I get upset. When I come down here, I see people sweeping out here and all kind of thing.
Yeah, the funeral of Mr. Williamson took place at the grandstand, Queen's Park, Savannah. All right, with that, we take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Every day at the castle, long before we open our doors, our work begins. Our famous seasonings are mixed in advance. We select our fresh chicken parts and prep our delicious sides. Then we fire up the fryers and rotisserie oven. Everything is made with tasty local herbs, spices, and the same long-loved recipe since 1968. So, when you come in, remember that we uphold our culture and our taste. Just for you. We are your Royal Castle.
This Java bring the whole family to La Vega Estate, Trinidad's #1 family-friendly destination, open daily, including weekends and public holidays. La Vega is more than Trinidad's leading garden center. It's packed with fun for everyone. New this season, thrilling ATV tours for the adventure seekers, plus 2 large pools, fishing, nature trails, playgrounds, and more. Camp under the night sky. Make a booking for an unforgettable family getaway. Call or WhatsApp 714-5969 to plan your next adventure today.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinidad. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinidad, premier insurance coverage for less.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
West Indies captain Shea Hope says he is pleased with the efforts of the batting department of his team. The right-handed batsman was speaking at the team's hotel on the eve of the first one-day international against Pakistan at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy today from 2 p.m.
We analyze the entire team, seeing ways we can improve, and that's what you want to do as a professional team, an elite team. You got to make sure you keep finding ways to improve, and we identify those areas, and the guys just open arms, take it with open arms. And we just said, okay, we want to improve. We want to make sure we competing with the best in the world, with the likes of Floyd and obviously Abby with the work that we've been doing behind the scenes. We just put it into practice and trusted that process. And over time, the results have been showing a lot more consistently.
The semi-finals of the Women Warriors Wellness Football Competition is on at the Hasely Crawford Stadium this evening. In the first semi-final, pits Club Sando and Club Grenada national team from 5 p.m. 2 hours later, Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force entertain Pro Series. The final and third place are set for Sunday. We take another break. Stay with us.
Let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Rand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve. Big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Rand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union. Ask the Doctor's new season is here as Dr. Joel Tilak Singh covers a range of topics and, most importantly, answers all your medical questions.
Join us on Ask the Doctor live on CNC3 on Thursdays at a new time of 8:30 p.m. with a rerun on Fridays at 11 a.m.
You're watching CNC3.
A wealthy businessman on Thursday became the head of Haiti's Transnational Presidential Council. Laurent Césaire has been tasked with leading the team to restore order in Haiti as gangs still threaten to overthrow the government. Césaire had his start at a local insurance company and previously served as president of the American Chamber of Commerce in Haiti. He thanked all national and international actors who have helped Haiti, but as he was sworn in, he noted that it's not time for beautiful speeches, but time to act. The U.S. is doubling its bounty for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, now offering $50 million for information leading to his arrest. The country's Attorney General Pam Bondi made the announcement on Thursday, calling Maduro a major narco-trafficker and a threat to national security. She accused him of working with drug cartels to smuggle dangerous substances and violence into the U.S. The original reward set during Trump's first term was $15 million. Former President Biden raised it to $25 million before leaving office. Now for a look at the weather forecast. Today's fair conditions are expected to become partly cloudy at times with isolated showers. There's a medium chance of the isolated thunderstorm where gusty winds and street or flash flooding can occur. Seas are moderate with waves reaching up to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. The forecast high is 32 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and 31 degrees Celsius in Tobago. And with that, we thank you for joining us for a look at the day's developments. So far, we'll have these these stories and so much more in our major newscast at 7 p.m. Have a great day.
क्या होती उतरन।
भाभी, आप होश में तो हैं? अपने ही पति पर ऐसे